Hi YouTube, how are you doing? I was just sitting here daydreaming. I've been learning a little bit of Greek. So like uh genios means old man. That's why Hebrews couldn't really decipher any Greek. You could have one big long word meaning a whole bunch of things within there, and it's not the same as Hebrew. Greek is so different, you know. Um, and now I I'm learning there's a middle language, like in the sentence there could be like a hidden middle language within the whole thing that English doesn't have, or Hebrew or anybody else. It's a whole another way of communicating. You could have a sentence or a paragraph that says so much in the Greek. There's no way Hebrew scholars could decipher all that because it isn't their language, number one. Uh, and that really is, although there were Jews on the island of Crete, and those are ones that tried to scribe Greek, the Alexandrian Jews translating out of Alexandria Greek libraries, not Hebrew libraries. It's not the other way around. The Greeks didn't go and get the Septuagint from the Hebrews, it was the other way around. And that's proven chronology. These fools out here that are trying to push their agenda for their money making schemes and the trickery of the whole thing towards Christians, that's what I'm trying to stop. I do not have the time for um the Greek professor. I do not have the physical and mental time right now in my life to apply myself 100%. But when I do, just like what I'm doing now in my life is I did study psychology and other sciences to combat what we're combating out here as a team. So I do have a value. I bring a value to the table. I just want to bring more. I do not have the time to apply myself until at least well into the winter or spring or even summer. I am not next fall, perhaps. I am not committing my time to something that is going to intrude on my set goals that I have to do now. It's a mediocre pastime that really isn't needed in my life for my insight on the whole thing and just actually knowing things instinctively. Um, or the um, opportunity that I had to have written materials and information from ancient libraries that a lot of people didn't have in their youth. So I'm kind of ahead of the game, even without the language, is what I'm trying to say. Although I did study some Greek and Latin and different languages to be able to decipher words for people, and I'm really good at it. So anyway, I just wanted people from and you there. Um, yeah, I appreciate the university. I share the material, and I'm with you 100%. you know, almost. But when I'm there, I'll let you know. So enough on that, and I have a message for somebody else that has limited their talking to me. Well, we don't talk every day anyway, that's not it. But I do know that they are asked, there has been times in our lives that this person has been asked to keep things from me, and this puts a like a if okay, there's three people, and one person doesn't want. Okay, my son does not want me to know what's going on in his life. That's fine. I might as well just say who the hell I'm talking about. But I do know that that puts it doesn't put a barrier or a limitation or a bar, but it makes it uncomfortable for the people that are bystanders in emotional trauma of other people. You know, that's putting it mildly. So, um, for the girls in my life, I know what's going on, ladies. We'll talk. Just let him play his game. We'll talk. I know it isn't that neither one of us don't want to talk. It's just that the uncomfortable atmosphere of not wanting to lie. It's like my kids would ask me, don't tell this woman or this person or whoever that I'm here or whatever. No, I don't play that. If somebody asks me, I'm going to say. But I have said up front that there are certain people in my son's life, and this isn't including the mothers of their children or their children, but other people that I will never tell you one thing about my kids. You will never know if I knew where they were at or anything about that because that's put them in too much danger before in the past, and I'm not about to be that stupid. I've tried to protect them from that from day one. So when I knew especially what was that reminds me. I I was on Facebook today, and some of you know I was 17, got married, and got an annulment. I met the father of my kids when I had just turned 18. He was 18 too, and we were together till we were 34. And I kicked him out and moved away. And well, anyway, so the people on Facebook were talking about divorces and remarrying and what the scriptures said. And I did write on there, are you the expert? Do you know definitively that this is what these words say? Have you studied any ancient languages? Not the translation, but the actual ancient languages. And this is what God would tell somebody, like if they had a spouse that punched their children and they were sluts. There's absolutely no value in a human being as a family member. And a young woman and those children don't have the right to form a family with somebody else that had been through similar things. Well, you would be absolutely wrong because the God that loves me didn't want me to be alone, regardless of other people's thoughts. And the second you think you have a relationship that cannot be touched by evil and you're willing to live the rest of your existence alone, let me know. Especially if you've never had a family and that's really all you ever wanted. You know, people, it's easy for them to say what the scriptures say, but they don't write the rest of it. If this man had been unfaithful to you, you have the right to dump his stupid ass and yada yada. All the rest of it. They won't write the whole scripture. They won't even write the part that if your husband dies, his dumbass brother has rights to you or something. See how fucked up this scripture shit is? I mean, you're treating a woman and a mother like cattle, and then you have to what? She has to have children with the brother now to so that seed of that family can continue? Give me a goddamn break. Let's have some logical, emotional compassion for human beings, not what you think is written in the scriptures to suit your own demented, fucked up shit. I am so sick of it. Stupid fucking people. So, yeah, I wrote a couple things on there. You know, one person's like, well, if neither one of them had God going into that marriage and they had been married to somebody else, um, is God still going to love them both? And another person wrote, oh, so if we're married to a divorcee, we're just supposed to get rid of our spouse? you know? Yeah, yeah. I just asked them, who made you the expert on the text when you don't even know what you're talking about? You know, it's, read the whole text in the ancient language, not your translation, and you'll see a way bigger picture on that. Whereas actually, the brother is considered incestuous. That's a family member. When you get, can you imagine? This is as gross as it is. My little brother, my ex's little brother, would then get to marry me and have kids with me after I had been looking at this person as my little brother from the start. Are you fucking kidding me? This shit doesn't make any sense. It's all mind control tactics. It's bullshit. Wow. Yeah. How's that looking in the mirror for you liars doing today? That make you a little mad? Aw, I'm just not so sorry. Getting mad at me isn't going to take your lies away, isn't going to make me you. I don't want to be you. If you wanted to be me, you would have had books in your hand instead of your dick when you were a little kid. And then you would be intelligent like me. I did not have the intent not to be crass today. I'm just not in the mood to be unsubtle with people. So, in other words, straightforward and what's on my mind is what you're going to get, like usual. Yeah. Because last time I checked, no man walking this earth is the most high. And I do not bow to your dumb ass. I don't bow to nobody. I may curtsy if you were applauding. You men can curtsy too if you want. Most men bow like gentlemen, but, or maybe not most. Maybe not anymore, huh? When they have a curtain call and they go back out, they twinkle their way across the stage like a little ballerina, or maybe doing a little minuet, you know, like a fairy. if you want to be me, you got an awful long road ahead of you. I don't know why you would want to, but nothing anybody says or does is going to make me feel less about myself at any time. So these people that have psychotic problems, and there is patterns in personality traits with these people that you can make check marks on a chart of their insanity, their mental illness, and it's an actual thing. I can't prove evil, but I can prove mental instability. So who are you trying to fool? Where are you trying to hide? Yeah. Try and point out faults in me. I'm comfortable. I know God loves me. If you can say the same thing, good for you. Then we don't have an argument. I don't want to live in your house, and I don't want you living in mine. So that would really pretty much clear up any um, control issues that a person would want to have over somebody else. If we each have our own separate, you praise one God, I evidently praise another. Mine told me not to do something terrible and then pretend that I wasn't doing something terrible by making it seem like somebody else did that terrible thing. So, if you got that, let me reword that for you. My God told me, when you do something awful, face up to it. Don't keep um, doing the same things that weren't working the first time, you know. You'll be getting the same results that you always get if you don't try something different, you know. So, a bully, a liar, a asshole, and a lazy scholar will never get my attention. And trying to be cruel to me by trying to shame me for areas that I'm innocent of and shameless. That's why somebody could have the right to be shameless, because they haven't done anything heavy that it's theirs to carry. When somebody rapes you, that's not your shame, that's the rapist. That's their shame. If somebody lies to you, you didn't lie, the liar did. So the gaslighting tactics of like, what? I got mad from you lying, and now you're going to try and paint me as the tyrant? Uh-uh. No. See, that's why I'm saying where there is an actual list where you can check, mark insanity in other people. And a lot of them will make videos concluding their insanity. That's the weird part about it. It's like, not only do you lie and it's on video, but you extrapolate on your lie and you continue it and try and place that on somebody else. That's projecting blame. When you're a dick to somebody, you don't go up to somebody and say, now you're the dick and you deserve punishment for something I did. No, life doesn't work like that. In other words, if you had somebody betray you and do you wrong in your life, first off, stick up for yourself and don't back down. Don't ever back down. That's your integrity right there. They don't have the right to even project their poor thoughts on you. You know you're innocent of something. If somebody, say for instance, and I told Doug that knows this is true, the only way, like my kid would meet a new girl or something and didn't want them to talk to me to get the dirt on their personality, you know, the only way somebody can stop another person from talking to me would be based on a lie. Other than that, my integrity and the people around me in my life, my community, everybody I know has that respect for me because they know I don't do things to other people. You know, what you do is probably recorded. Mine's recorded too. Here I am. I'm not projecting my bad thoughts. I don't get in a bad mood and come on here and project that onto other people. I don't do something terrible to somebody and then come on here and make elaborate videos on why that other person is low when they're actually a good person and innocent of what they're being accused of, having things projected on them that they've never even thought of doing in their whole life. So, whatever. Sometimes you can't reason with the unreasonable, and there is nothing you can do for insanity. You know, the people that aren't insane are probably doing um, constructive things instead of destructive, you know, like trying to learn another language or actually getting a course on learning a new instrument or, you know, something, baking, gardening, you know, artwork, whatever. Some people are constructive, some people are destructive. When I don't feel well, I'll bake. I don't come on here and bake a video of how I'm going to uh, try and annihilate another person intentionally. This isn't what I do in my life. I'm out fighting the dark cabal in the worst ways. Um, Not individual people, but people that are probably, um, well, they're aware that they're helping the dark cabal. Their reasons for why they're doing it are twisted. Whenever you are in league with harming any type of innocence in this world, family-minded people are a target nowadays. Mothers, you're in danger. You always have been. I'm sure you know that anyway. And with the lack of masculine protection in this world, uh, we need to step up our game, ladies. You know, take some self-defense courses. You know, just like on Amin Yui's, we're talking about that indicative middle language within the Greek. Now we're coming into what that middle language is. Well, anyway, he said about this one word. I don't remember the word in particular. Oh, yes, I do. Circes was named from the Greeks gave this woman a name that means, what was it? Just a minute. Like to cause fear. I can't remember what the exact term was. And he says, do you know what causes fear in men? An intelligent woman. Yes, I know I do. I've only seen it tens of thousands of times, you know. Are you going to tell me who I am? No, I can tell you who you are because with my intuition and the arts that I have studied about human psychology, actual sciences, not pseudosciences, but actual sciences within biology. We're still dealing with the spiritual in the material, but it's still both aspects of what we're dealing with in this spiritual war. So people can say, well, it's um, spiritual and this is our avatar. And yeah, but this is how we communicate. Although there is the unspoken spiritual communication, our ability to enhance that with language or the twisting of it is pretty good, but you'd have to probably be a really good philologist, linguist of many languages in order to keep up with somebody that's far ahead, you know. So you really don't want to continue with an attack on a good person because I do have people that are sticking up for my innocence and my virtues, and people that see that and value that in me. Those are the ones that I will gravitate towards, and the ones that are gravitating towards me. They've probably had the same type of thing done to them, so they're familiar with the tactics and the way. We call them narcissists, but there's a lot more to that. Um, what they will do and the reasons why they're doing it, you know. So I'll sit and chat for a little bit with you here. If you're new here, I appreciate you being here. Yes, every day. I have things on my mind, so I'm really never at a loss for any topics or, you know, that. Sometimes I'm at a loss for words, but topics, nah, I'm good. Good to go. Cheers, everybody. Yeah, it's just a wonderful day. We did have some really cold weather a couple days now, but today it wasn't frozen out this morning like it had been, which is nice. I go out and feed feral kitties, so um, yeah, it's nice. I do have a tank heater for their water to keep their water from ice in the winter here. I've got to put it. I had to break their water open a couple days now, but this morning it was open, so yeah. They'll never starve. There's a creek. It's flowing. They can go down there. It's not far. It is more dangerous for them though to go through the woods to the creek. So I try to get out kind of early and I was out before they were this morning, so I had a couple girls waiting by the porch for me, a couple of white ones, a long hair and a short-haired white kitties. Yeah, but most of them were sleeping. I got out there before they were desperate, is what I'm saying. So I don't like putting people down, but I don't like betrayal. And when somebody hurts my feelings and they don't stop to acknowledge or look at what they might have done to put me in that temperament, that tells me they don't take time for self examination. They're too busy examining everybody else, and that's too self centered for me to have a friendship with. It's just, no. Deny family members access to me because they are not worthy of my time. Their human psyche is too low vibrational for me to even wanna. I can't function around it. I'm too happy of a person to. I mean, it's not like if somebody has sorrows or um, bad times in their life that I won't be able to empathize and step in their shoes and help them out. It's that when chaotic times come, these people that like to pick everybody else apart, you're the last person. If somebody, I've used this analogy before, but I've seen it firsthand. People flopping on the ground with grand mal convulsions and all these creatures that call themselves human standing around. And this has happened more than once in my life that I've saved people, you know, in different ways, bloody, um, convulsing, whatever it is, broken bones, different things I've dealt with when everybody else is standing around, arguments, fights, they're standing around, and I equalize things. I with my level logical mind am able to operate under stress where other people fall apart. I have qualities about myself that the people that are attacking me do not possess. So, and they are jealous of it or hateful of it, whatever you want to call it. But you won't demean me ever. You don't need a mirror to see you're ugly. It's shining through to everybody. So I'm going to leave it on that 33 note. That's a good number. Love you all, and I'm glad you're here. Peace and love from Pine City, Minnesota, USA. Have a good night or day wherever you're at.